What's up, Orcamaniacs, and welcome to Dubld Drbl, episode number 20. Was supposed to be entitled Here Comes the Boom, but sometimes life hits you with the boom, and I think that's the situation right now with our dude, Dubld Drbl. He was not able to join us today, which is cool. It's all right. Life happens. Over to my side, I got George, I got G, and below me, I got the coach. We're here anyway, so what the hell? We're going to do a cool little sports recap for you guys. We're also going to let you know about the pillow drive, and Coach knows about an event that's coming up in a little bit. We'll get to that in just a little bit. All right, so let's audible here, guys. Let me just close this journal. I don't need it. Let's talk some Lakers. Yeah, two more, gentlemen. Two more, guys. Two more. Me and George talked on, what was it? Was it Tuesday? I believe we had our first game one was on Wednesday, right? Yeah, so we talked on
Wednesday.
Yeah, we talked on Tuesday, and you were giving me the Achilles heels and the strengths of the Lakers and the Miami Heat. Can you maybe emphasize a little bit what those were, and have you seen any of those in either game one or game two?
I mean, for me, like the Achilles heel that I would be worried about is could Lakers like make enough shots to win games? And clearly you saw that in game one. They were making shots. Caldwell Pope got them started with his threes because like they were down 13, but Caldwell Pope sparked the Lakers. LeBron did what he does. Anthony Davis did what he does in game one, and they were just pretty much killing them in game one. And then game two, the Heat played a little bit better. And then I forgot, like game one, like Lakers allowed them to be in the game for a little bit. Like I didn't like the way they ended game one. Like I thought they could have ended that better. Game two, Lakers did play pretty good. You know, yes, they got the win, but there's just some things that they really need to work on. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. You know, Lakers did a pretty decent job, but I felt like they could have done better.
I agree. I think we need to keep our foot on the pedal because I'll come to you in a second, G. We got to keep our foot on that gas pedal because, like you said, Miami had that game where they were in it. They were in it yesterday too. They didn't fall out till like the middle of the third quarter. You know, the end of the third quarter.
Yeah,
they were right there. And that's without having Bam and without having, Butler being hurt. You wouldn't even be able to tell. Butler was all over the place, but he's in pain too. And I'm not the one, we talked about this as all, if injuries were going to be a factor, I already got Adam Flash is already on me about, we have a bunch of hurt guys and this and that. I'm like, Adam, don't be that guy, bro. Don't be that guy.
Hey, watch out for Kendrick Nunn though too. Kendrick Nunn has been balling too. Like he scored 18 points in that loss in game one. And then he did. He sparked the Heat in game two last night. So watch out for him.
The whole season before the season took a break, man. He was actually the starting point guard, I believe, for the Heat.
Undrafted rookie.
Yep, those are the ones that undrafted everything. That's the stuff surprises. I mean, it's
how these players go undrafted and they come out to be better players than the ones that went ahead of them.
That's how it always works, dude. Look at people like, like Mike Trout was way towards the end of the draft. Tom Brady, or, people like that. Like, you never would hear of these people. Now they're going to be Hall of Famers. And NBA is no different. So
they got something to prove, man.
Hey, shout out to Anthony Davis of having a great game last night.
Dude, he's going to – I told you.
32 points, 14 rebounds, and I believe he was, 10 of 15 shooters? Or what is it? Oh, no. 15 of 20 shooting.
Yeah. Don't get me started on Anthony Davis, bro. I've been saying since the day he got drafted to the NBA, I've been saying Lakers need to find a way to get this guy because he's going to be great. He's going to be something special. That's always said. And now that we have him, he is playing right in our eyes, bro. He's doing it. He's doing it. And that's what he said the other day, that this is the moment he's been waiting for his whole career, his whole life. So –
yeah,
Then
they started comparing him to Shaq and Kobe, and you just see both of them were this look like super humble that I've never seen LeBron or AD like that. I thought that was really cool. So,
I mean, like you're not gonna find anybody that's kind of like near him. Like, yes, there's gonna be skill centers here and there, but like, look how today's NBA, like it's a lost art having centers. But then like Lakers, what they're trying to do, they're trying to like reinvent it a little bit for them to say like, hey, size does matter. Size does win championships. It's not always like shooting that wins you championships.
Yeah.
And that's what they expose. That's how they expose the Houston Rockets, because Houston Rockets like to shoot the three, but you know what? It's a big man's game, and Lakers really showed it during that Houston series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to piggyback off of that, George, I totally agree with you. The Lakers throughout the whole playoffs, they've been able to compete with the competitors because they will adjust to what they're doing. Like you said, with the Houston Rockets, they found a way to beat them at their own game, and now they're playing with the with the Heat, you know. And I got to give credit to the Heat, even though last night they were out with two key players, they were still able to compete in a close game, and they still had a chance to beat the Lakers. And like George said earlier, the Lakers were not playing with enough intensity, and they weren't playing at point like they always do. Like first game, they were on it, even though they got socked in the face at the beginning of the game. They came back and took control. The second game, it wasn't like that. It was more of a kind of back and forward game because the Heat were coming back. They will come back with some streaks and couldn't come back and pull it off. But you got to give them credit. They were missing their key players, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens the next two games. So
I wanna come to Coach for a coach standpoint on this. What can the Heat do to maybe step up better in Game 3, and what can the Lakers do to keep their foot on the gas? What would you tell them to do?
The Heat, they really can't do much because they're limited. You know, they're full strength. They don't have Bam, their best defender. They don't have Dragic, who's just he's a mismatch, so he's unorthodox. He's kind of like Ginobili was. You know, so he can get to the rack and he creates a lot of stuff for a lot of people, and he can shoot. And so missing those two guys are key. But what they have, they always play hard. You know, Spoelstra is the best coach in the NBA, I think, in my eyes. Him and Pop, and he's so underrated. But all his teams overachieve. You know, especially when he didn't have LeBron and Wade and those guys. But they always play harder. And they play the right way, and Butler's a perfect fit. And even Butler had like 13 assists. He's never had that before. They have a lot of good things. Hero is a beast. Nunn is underrated. He was second in the Rookie of the Year, so people sleep on that. But the only thing they could really do is the zone needs to be tighter. Pack the paint more with the zone, because the Lakers hit a lot of threes, but their shooting percentage was only like 33. But what killed them yesterday wasn't the threes, it was the inside. Like LeBron would get in the middle of the zone and AD in the zone.
And AD getting all those rebounds as well.
Yeah, once the ball goes into the middle, it's a wrap in the zone. So all they have to do, and Van Gundy and Mark Jackson said it over and over again, is that they got to pack the paint in the zone. Let them shoot the three and let them live and die. If they beat us with the three, they beat us with the three. That's the only thing they can really do. As for the Lakers, they just need to keep on getting the ball in the middle and not settle for threes.
Right.
They're not a good shooting three-pointing team. If it's shooting in rhythm, like catch and shoot, then that's fine. But they took the most threes they've ever taken in the finals, in a playoff, ever.
Yeah.
And it was just a bit much, and they're settling, and that's what kept the Heat in the game. It wasn't because they were playing hard. The Lakers were playing hard the whole game, but it was the fact that they took too many threes and it was all or nothing. They had, every time they got the ball into the middle of the zone, it was an easy dunk, and that's why at one time AD was 14 for 15. Pretty much 11 of those 15 shots were dunks.
Right.
And then that got them hot shooting outside, because once you give a shooter a rhythm, it's going to be a wrap. So, you know, the Heat are going to play hard. It's going to be tough. It won't be any blowouts. You know, it'll be under 20. give or take. If you consider that a blowout, so be it. But they're always going to be in games. They're always going to compete.
Mm-hmm.
The difference with this Laker team is that they're on a mission. You know, I love the fact that they haven't celebrated anything.
Mm-hmm.
When they made the final, it was just like, hey, give me the trophy and let's go. Game one, let's go. They were upset on how they finished. You know, yesterday, not one person was like, you know, excited about the win.
Yeah.
They know they got 2 more wins to go.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most motivated Lakers team I've seen since, you know, the Lakers Celtics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They
agree.
had revenge on their mind. You know, Lakers, when they beat Magic, they weren't this serious because they knew they could, you know, wake up and they beat the Magic. You know, but they're motivated with the Celtics because they had lost to them 2 years before. But this team is the most motivated team for sure, top to bottom. And that's
Yeah, and going to your point, Don, going to your point, Coach, Lakers, like out of the 22 teams that played in the bubble, they're ranked 21st in 3-point percentage, and that's not good. And I think like they have to rely on size more. If they do that, they have a good chance of winning this series and winning it all.
Well, they just taking threes are, you know, is a good thing as long as you take the right threes. And by the right,
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
you know, like if don't jack up the first 3 in the zone, you're gonna get a 3 whenever you want it.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take the first 3 you get. You know, so pass the ball around. Every time they moved it a few times around, it was a wrap. You know, that's when they hit a 3. You know, even Rondo was hitting threes. It was off the 3rd or 4th pass.
Mm-hmm.
Rondo's been holding it down.
Yeah, well, the people usually take, as soon as they get the first 3, they're like, hey, I'm open, they'll take it. That's the pass. You make 3 more passes, make the defense work, and then you get an even better 3 in rhythm.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you know, like Howard played well. You know, I would love to see McGee play some in the next game just to run because he played so hard all year. Howard's outplayed him, so that's why he's playing.
Yeah.
That'll be good to go, and it's going to be interesting, you know, what they do with the MVP because I would love to see MVPs.
That would be cool.
Just a Braun because of Braun, and I wouldn't want just AD to get it because Braun is just as
good.
I would love. It's never happened, but I would love co-MVPs.
That would be cool, especially this year with the whole, you know, Kobe's death and stuff, and it would just like it would honor him. But you guys, I want to.
Didn't they do that one year?
Go real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go and finish up real quick.
No, I was about to say, didn't they do that one year for the All-Star game for the Kobe and Shaq?
Yeah, they did that in 2009, but that's only the All-Star game. That's not the final.
Baseball, they've done it in the World Series, but I think only once. So we're about 15 minutes in. I want to do a quick PSA. We don't usually do this, but let's stop and take a little break real quick. We want to throw a PSA out there for you that are listening now, whether it's on if you guys are living or if I'm living or whatever this is going to go out to. You guys, we still have time to help on that pillow drive. All right. Yeah, we look silly walking around Walmart with 20 pillows in our arms, you know, but we're doing it for a reason. If you want to help out, all you got to do, go to @T1R1 on Instagram, and then you can go to the website, which I believe is T1R1D, I think it is, or something like that, .org. And you can fill out the form if you want to help donate pillows. You can put how many pillows you want to get. If you want to donate money, you can do a Cash App, Zelle. There's all kinds of stuff on there that you can do. We're going to be doing the delivery next week. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be really cool. Yeah.
It's going to be fun, man.
And we've talked to Jay, our general manager, about it. And he has a couple different ways he's thinking about doing this. And I want to see where you guys stand on this. We're only going to talk about this for a couple minutes. I want to see where you stand on this. I talked to him about it, and he's thinking of possibly taking a bunch of different cars. We're trying to get some players to go, you know, maybe 8 players if we can. That way we can go to like 4 different locations at once. You know, maybe like, you know, take 1 media member and a couple players go to Oxnard, get a media member, go to, you know, LA, you know, obviously have James go to Skid Row because this is his foundation. Have him go to Skid Row, have another media member and some players go to, or coach or whatever, go to like, I think he said he wanted to go to Long Beach or some of that nature. And then at the end, we all meet up and, you know, share what we saw, or if we get footage, we can show our footage, stuff like that. Honestly, I think it's going to be more of a success than people think it's going to be. I've never ever done something like this before, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, hey, jumping in real quick on that. We had a meeting yesterday.
Okay.
I think the plan now is a little bit different.
Okay.
They actually want to have Orcas be a face in Oxnard.
Cool.
And if possible, do some pillow drives out there. Whoever's willing to get out there. And
of course.
I told them I'll talk to all the players tomorrow because I'm seeing, and then we'll know more. But that's the plan, to have as many Orca people. And
we'll be
working on it. He already started talking to the guy to make them, but to have them in Orca gear giving out.
Hell yeah, that'd be dope. I'm down.
All right, so and get some footage and.
Yeah, I'm down.
And All-Star, they knew who we are.
No,
I'll be down to go all the way over there.
I got the whole day off, so I'm totally down. I planned it to be gone the entire day. So
we're gonna carpool.
We go to Oxnard. Let's take a road trip, G. Gotta get used to it anyway.
All right.
Right.
All right. Yeah. George, you coming too?
Yeah, that's next week, right?
Next week, 10th. Be bright. We don't know what time we're starting though, right? He can give you an actual start time.
No, he'll figure that out. He wants to really know how many people and then coordinate from there.
Okay.
Because we're gonna have to be down here, coordinate, working with people, but Farron, whoever going up there, he'll have to coordinate and drop the pillows off and see what happens.
Well, we're down, and G's got a big truck.
In touch with James, and James will let you know what's up.
Cool. Yeah, well, G's got a big truck, so we're down. We're there. Sounds good. Just let me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cool event. James is super stoked about it. He's gonna try to do it maybe a couple times a year. But yeah, I want to completely jump about the Lakers.
Okay, let's get back. We're good. Go for it, Coach. We're back.
I just saw a picture about LeBron, and LeBron scored the 81st point with 8:24 remaining, 24 seconds on the shot clock in his mama jersey.
Shut up.
Whoa.
Shut up.
That was last night. So
shut up. No.
I did not notice that.
I'm not gonna say anything on that, but that's crazy.
No.
I'll tell you, Kobe, he's always gonna be here, man.
Wait till I'm telling you.
And get this, they're 4-0 in those jerseys. 4-0.
Yeah.
I gotta get me one of those jerseys, man. They're fire. They're nice.
I'm thinking about it too, but they're
good luck. I was trying to spend $300 on it.
Right?
Yeah, the gold ones alone.
Hey, George, I just sent you that picture of the stats that I just read off.
That's insane. Yeah, I want to see that. Well, it looks like Farron has joined us as well. Right now, Farron, we're doing a sports recap. We talked Lakers. We just did a pillow drive break to talk about the pillow drive. And now we're back on the sports recap, and Coach was telling us something. I don't want to say eerie. What's a polite way to say eerie? Something crazy that happened with LeBron.
Interesting.
Intriguing.
Intriguing.
Okay.
Coach,
what's intriguing?
Okay, listen to this. You say one more time, Coach?
Yeah, LeBron scored the 81st point yesterday with 8:24 remaining, with 24 seconds on the shot clock in the mama jersey.
Right?
That's insane.
There's no coincidence, so it's craziness.
It's nuts. I want to. Okay, so since we got someone neutral here, he's not
amused.
He's like, what? Well, no, I want to go to Farron, because he's not a Laker fan, but he's also not a Miami fan. What? Coach gave us his input. What do you think Miami could do better in Game 3 to possibly push them to a victory? And what can the Lakers do to keep their foot on the gas pedal? I want to hear what you have to say.
Man, I watched both games so far, man, and the fundamental basketball is just not being played.
No, it's not. Either side.
Either side, right? So if you're the Heat and you got big guys like the Lakers, like AD and them, my mind is you got to get them guys in foul trouble, either playing defense on you or offense. But you've got to get those guys in foul trouble to get those guys off the court, off the floor, and then you get your runs in. But other than that, man, you're not gonna stop. You're not gonna stop the Lakers. Like, you're not gonna stop them playing basket for basket. You gotta have a strategy, and back to fundamentals. You gotta box out. Make AD go over the back. Like, make those guys work for that basketball, that rebound, instead of standing there, the shot goes up, and he's just coming out of nowhere grabbing dunks. It's like, come on,
Yeah,
that's
I think the thing was that killed them was like they're playing a lot of zone, and then like when you play zone, you're gonna give up those offensive rebounds, and that's what AD was
exactly. Zone might not be the defense either because the Lakers are hitting their threes, they're hitting the shots in the corner with the quick pass, so they can't play man to man. So what do you play?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think like what Spoelstra's gonna have to do is give Leonard more minutes, and then give Kelly Olynyk more minutes because that's the only bigs they got other than Adebayo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But even then, like they're still getting killed by AD.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta figure out how to put a body on AD like right away. Like you gotta know where that guy is at and keep him away from the basket. So
because like too much zone is not really gonna cut it to like beat the Lakers though.
Nah.
Because the only thing you're doing is making them a jump shooting team.
Right, which they've been successful lately. So that's not working. Rondo's coming in hitting threes and stuff. So you got to change a game plan. But not only that, like Rondo's picking your defense apart playing that zone. Like look, like Rondo has how many lobs did he throw? That's
like,
what I'm
threw
saying.
Like at least 5 lobs last night.
Exactly. So how do you defend that? I mean, the Lakers. I mean, they got a good squad. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So.
And Rondo's that old school point guard that could get everybody involved.
Yep.
So it's not like one of these point guards that you see in today's game.
I think that's what it is. So they got a bunch of veterans on that team, and not only that, they played with each other before. Look at Rondo and AD. They played in New Orleans for a year, so they got experience playing with each other. So I think it's just
the chemistry. The chemistry is coming out. The chemistry is coming out, and
and we have multiple guys that already won at least one championship. So that's the experience that we have on our roster.
But it's a good mix, though. It's not just we have a billion veterans. We also have young kids. We have Kuz. We have Caruso. We have Pope. They're getting that experience now, but they're stepping up to the challenge.
Yeah, they're answering that bell.
It's a good mix.
I think. Get the broom in the dustpan.
I'm hoping so. With that said, I want to ask Farron. We asked Coach this as well. That's why I'm asking you also. We asked Coach this as well. Coach thinks we should, someone on here said we should do a co-MVP. Personally, right now, I give the MVP to AD. Who do you give the MVP to?
Between AD and LeBron.
Ooh.
And I said that on Wednesday.
Doesn't he need the MVP though? Does he need the MVP for his legacy or no?
No, like Coach was that you that said that, George? The co-MVP? Someone said something about
No, that was Don. That was Coach Don.
We should do a possible co-MVP.
No, I said they done it before in the All-Star game though, but
they did All-Star game. They done it in baseball,
but it never happened in the finals.
Not in the finals.
Yeah, I think so far AD has been putting up some serious numbers, man.
Yeah, so I'm going to AD. So.
34 points, 14 rebounds, 15 to 20 shooting. That's efficient.
Yeah, he's turned the gas. He turned the gas up. So
yeah,
I don't know for LeBron's legacy. Maybe LeBron just to cap off his legacy. But like you said, who's earning it? AD is definitely earning it.
I would love to see AD win the MVP.
I think
that would be great. Like his first time in the finals, and then he wins MVP.
Yeah,
that would be so impeccable for him.
Yeah.
And not only that would what's called only help that would like help out AD's legacy as well because like you said that's his first year in the finals, and for him to get the MVP award, that would look good on him.
Yeah, so in an entertainment business, what's the best scenario for your entertainment? Which is probably like
superstar
give it to AD. Because that's LeBron might be done coming up, so now AD is the next legacy setter for the. If he's still with the Lakers.
He's still in his prime too, so he's only like 27 years old.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then we also talked about comparing them to Kobe and Shaq, and in game 2 more than game 1, I think I saw a little bit of Shaq in AD. I really did.
I watched. As a matter of fact, I watched one of LeBron. Somebody interviewed LeBron. And it was talking about the comparison of Kobe and Shaq and him and AD, and I'm like, why are y'all bringing that up?
They're going to. So.
Well, I
don't
mean,
think it's the same.
I don't
not.
think it's the same
Well,
either.
I agree,
It's
but
just
I'm just saying I see little pieces. AD, like his intensity level went up in the last game 2 for sure. Game 2 for sure, his intensity
the
level.
only similarities I was like sorry, not to cut you off, G, but the only similarities I have is like LeBron is just as good as AD is just as good as LeBron. That's the only thing I see. If LeBron is just
he
slightly
talked
better
about
player.
we're hybrids. I'm like come on, hybrids is either you play in the position is you can't compare the positions. So how is that a hybrid? AD's out. He shoots outside in.
Yeah.
Shaq was killer
in the paint.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not in the paint.
But imagine if AD did that and played in the paint, they would demolish everybody because I just like the old school way of having the big man, like having the role players.
Yeah.
The life of the big man. And that's your key. To me, that's your key. If you got a point guard and a big man, you could put the rest of it together.
Oh,
right.
Well, look at what the Spurs did when they had Tony Parker and Tim Duncan.
That's
they built around them. Yeah, exactly. They built around them. They added
David Robinson.
That was the era of the big men, though. That era of big men has changed to the point guard, and everybody's shooting threes now. So you got cats like AD shooting threes. Like you belong down in the box. Like, what are you doing?
And that's exactly what I was saying. Like how's AD like standing outside AD? Like, first of all, they have smaller players that's like no higher than like 6'8", 6'9".
Thank you.
Bro, like, get your butt in the paint, man. You gotta. That's where you do your living. That's when you could average at least 40 points a game, 40 and 10. Just like Shaq be saying, like he needs to go in the paint, and that's barbecue chicken all day. That is barbecue chicken all day. He has to be eating. He has to be feasting on those guys.
He wouldn't be stopped at all.
Exactly, and then there'll be an unbeatable team, and then we wouldn't be having this type of conversation to see like, oh, who's gonna win the series? Like, because we already know like the way the Lakers are playing, it looks like it could be a possible sweep.
Yeah.
Has anybody checked when the last finals had a sweep like this? Because I was gonna look it up. I haven't looked it up.
No idea.
Be honest,
wow, right?
I don't know. Yeah,
it's been a while.
Yeah. It has been years.
Want to know another crazy fact? I was going to throw out in a little bit. We'll take a little small break. But the last time that the Lakers and the Dodgers were both in the playoffs was '88.
Wow.
Oh, that's your graduated.
Yep.
And I wasn't even born yet. I was born 2 years after that.
Who wasn't born yet?
I wasn't born yet.
I was 4.
I was born in 1990.
I was 18.
There you go. I'm just saying.
I was 18.
It could happen again. I'm not a Dodger fan, but I'm not gonna lie. History-wise, it would be cool to see.
George, you gotta raise your hand to talk to me. You gotta raise your hand to talk to me.
I gotta come to you with some his sports history, Ron. So I'm gonna
raise your hand to talk to me. You wasn't even born when I was graduating high school. We can't talk.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't, man. Yeah, I was young. I wish I was, but I was young.
We're all babies.
So do you think that the Celtics would have had a better shot? I mean, I don't really think anybody was going to match up to the Lakers. I don't think the Clippers would have matched up to the Lakers. I don't think anybody.
I personally think we would have did better against Boston, but I was scared of taking on the Heat. They were, no pun intended, they were on fire coming in, and then Bam went down, and then the other couple players that went down as well. I'm not making excuses because I don't believe in making excuses for injuries. Injuries are part of the sport. Stuff happens. Don't make excuses. Step up. Have your other players step up.
It ain't over.
But I was scared of them coming in. I said Lakers in 6. So.
And then Boston has better wing players and
that just makes fights, right? So the Boston actually gives us more problems because their strong suit is our weakness. So with Tatum and Brown and Kimba, it was a harder chance. But with LeBron and AD playing the way they are, and as aggressive as they are, no one beats us. Nobody.
Yeah, unless they have a bad game, unless tomorrow they have a off game, is the only opportunity that they're gonna have. Is they're gonna.
But that's no team, like Clippers included, that if both of those guys are aggressive and hitting, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like what 60 points by themselves.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Hey, Coach,
like LeBron and AD, they
Yeah.
combined 65 points.
That's what I'm
LeBron
saying. So
hit
if they get
33 and
65
then
by themselves, bro, you in trouble.
Exactly.
yeah.
We also were talking earlier before we went on air. I got Coach back now, so we'll go ahead and do this really quick. We got about 10 minutes to go. We were talking about, we haven't talked any Orcas yet, so that's kind of weird for us. So let's talk a little Orcas. Coach, you said you got something going down tomorrow. You want to let us know what's going on? There's a tournament or something?
P4E is actually playing in a tournament with most of the Orca guys.
Cool.
I think we have 7 to 8 Orcas and 2 possible future Orcas playing.
Cool.
The tournament's just an open tournament for a championship belt and in Corona, and we'll see how we do.
That'd be cool. That's not that bad.
We're going for the belt, that's for sure. But
there you go. What names are we looking at that are going to possibly be there?
Buddha, Drew, DA, Mark, Percy, Val, Zach, Adam, and I think that's it.
Wait, look, everybody we've talked
We're going to play, but they got busy. He's out of town, and Josiah has to train.
That's why I didn't get my shirt yesterday. Damn you.
Yeah. And then, but we added Jamani and DJ, 2 guys that are nice. So they'll be there tomorrow.
You keep saying nice, and you also said that they could be future Orcas. What did you guys see in these kids? Like, what's going on with them?
Well, DJ's already, he's played with Drew before on the Drew League and in the JBL.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's already has some history with our team, and he's smooth. He's one of those dudes that doesn't look like he's going to work hard, but we're working hard at all, but he's killing it. And Jamani, first time I ever seen him play was Saturday, and he was the one guy that caught my eye. And lefty, 6'4", creates so much separation, and he blocked a dude at the rim, a big dude, and yeah, he's definitely. I'm excited to see how he works with other guys.
There you go. Sounds like a beast to me. Sounds good. Crazy.
Yeah, so we have all guys between 6'3" and 6'9", except for Mark, who's the baby at 6 foot. But Mark can score. And Mark and Val's 6'1", so
yeah,
you guys are going to be the scoring in the backcourt. But other than that, we got all guys that will switch and we're versatile.
That'll be cool. So we'll get a little.
That might be something. Well, I said I wasn't gonna go out there, but I don't know, man.
All these guys are
not
going.
that far.
I'm gonna have to throw a mask on, man. Y'all going?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
We're gonna try to go. I have to be back in Norwalk by like no later than 4, but I'm gonna try to go the first couple games.
Are y'all gonna
go?
Man.
Yeah.
I might have to. Throw me a mask on. I bought. Have you guys seen the advertisement for the shield? It's like a plastic shield.
Oh my God,
shield.
you would.
Yeah.
Andy Reid shield.
You bought one of them?
Hold on, let me go get it. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Oh,
There's a big orca across the middle of it.
For real, right?
You never know he's gonna come back.
Right.
As long as we don't have to wear it. Anyway, I'm excited. I mean, even if I only go for like the first 2 games, I think it'd be really exciting to see them.
I mean, we just gotta see how Game 3 turns out, and then Game 3 will tell us like how the series is gonna.
Brand new.
Well, I'm talking about the thing tomorrow.
Oh,
The game for sure, yeah.
Brand new.
All right, let's see.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
watch out.
Goggle one.
Let's see.
Taking out that
Like
Kareem.
got the box.
Dang. What?
Watch out.
whoa.
Wow.
Watch out.
2020, baby.
Wait.
How
much is that?
I bought 3 for, I don't know how much it was. It was on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Catcher's mask, Ricky.
Huh?
It looks like a catcher's mask, the old school
Yeah,
catcher's
it does.
Yeah.
Old school, really old school. Crazy.
So I guess it's legit.
Yeah.
I guess I should try it out tomorrow, huh?
Hey, send one to this doesn't fog up.
It doesn't fog up either. It doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. He needs one. Because that dude couldn't see out of the, after 2 minutes.
Hey.
That game just got postponed, by the way. The Patriots and Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh, it did too?
Yeah,
Cam
Cam tested positive.
Who?
Cam tested positive.
No.
Yes.
Cam Newton tested positive.
Yep.
No.
And then you got our game. Our game got canceled a couple days ago because we had like 4 staff members who screwed.
Yeah, the Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers.
We were supposed to play the Steelers.
Titans.
Yeah.
That game actually got postponed. This game got rescheduled for Monday.
Wow.
But the
Yeah,
Where the hell is Cam hanging
I
out?
love Cam, but
Where's he hanging out at?
he's a young kid. Who knows?
Chiefs, a couple of the Chiefs got it too. So
Yeah.
you know, that close, people are going to get it.
Yeah.
So they just got to adjust.
Oh man.
The NFL should have done a bubble thing, man.
Yeah.
They should have done something similar to the NBA.
Yeah.
There's no way they could do a bubble. That's 53 guys a team.
Yeah, exactly. And then like,
Gotta figure it out some way.
You know how big that bubble would have to be?
Yeah. Seriously.
that would have to be yeah. And that's
You're like taking over a whole state.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Just all the hotels around the arena. That's all they gotta do is they
Right.
just over all the hotels around the arena.
freaking crazy, man. Crazy.
It's
Oh
gonna-
man, that sucks.
Some way, somehow.
They just need to adjust like baseball did. You know, baseball was this close to not making it, and they adjusted and they actually got through it. And now they're going to have a champion. So the NFL's just got to be able to adjust and with cancel games and just deal with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like they moved.
I don't even know if NFL's going to go to 16 games with all this going
They
on.
shouldn't be playing 6 games anyways. It should be 12.
I agree.
Like college.
Well, yeah, they should cut it down. Like it shouldn't
I
be
agree.
16 games.
So we'll see.
Man.
We're talking
I gotta
about
look
making
that up.
adjustments. We were talking about this before we went on air. About baseball. You guys are talking baseball now. How do you guys think you guys like the playoffs? I like the 8-8. I really like it. I think they should shorten the season to maybe 140 games or something, or even 100 games or whatever. And they should do this. They should do a 16.
Well, I like Ricky. I like everything except for the top 2 teams should have a bye because
Should or shouldn't? Should.
The Dodgers had 43 and 20, 43 and 17 record, right?
Yeah, I agree. So Tampa and the Dodgers. Yeah.
A 3-game series, anybody can win.
Yeah.
All you have to do is win 2 games. So it's not fair to a team that went through the whole season in a regular season. This season, I loved it. Like having 4 games a day, that was amazing. But
Yeah.
do it. But they could easily do the first 2 teams have a bye and then go from there.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, that's like football does that. The top 2 on each side.
Or make it a 5-game series. If they make it a 5-game, the one can play 8.
Yeah.
Because then likely best of
But
5.
they don't want to do that because of pitching. So, and
Doesn't matter.
hockey used to do 5-7-7, and then they switched to actually 7-7-7. So they went the whole other.
Pitchers can't even pitch 5 innings. That's craziness.
Yeah. So, I mean, other than that, I like that there's more teams getting a chance, but I do agree with you on the whole 5.
Well, I can't stand pitching today because you had to kill me and drag me off the field to take me out of the game I was pitching.
Yeah.
If people saw Kershaw pitch and how he waved them off,
Uh-huh.
that was every game I pitched.
Huh.
But I was smiling. That was before I knew God. So
You had a little attitude. You had a little attitude with it.
Dang, don't you was like that, coach?
yeah, like if I was pitching, there's no way I'm coming out.
That's funny.
If there was a blowout, I didn't care. But
You see, coach piss at the coach.
Yeah. I was a catcher.
Cussing them
I was
out.
in the middle of that all the time.
I got in so many arguments with coaches. That's the only time I argued with coaches, was trying to take me out.
Yeah. And there's a lot of pitchers like that. John Lackey.
130 pitches, 140 pitches.
The
It doesn't matter.
modern day Nolan Ryan.
It doesn't matter.
Speaking of pitchers, holy crap. Okay, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer here, but I'm going to do it anyway. You guys hear about Bob Gibson? Like, what the hell? Bob Gibson,
What happened?
legend. Died.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Ooh.
Legend, man. And he was an African-American pitcher during that
He's
era.
the most underrated pitcher of all time
Oh, he was
because
amazing.
Because of his color.
he's top 3 of all time for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
What?
I like that.
Top 3 pitchers of all time?
Yeah, the dude had like a 1 point. They raised the mound just because of him.
Yep.
Because 1.0 something ERA, crazy. The best season by a pitcher, and then they raised the mound like 6 inches just because of Bob Gibson, how dominant he was.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just like with Shaq, not Shaq, Kareem and Wilt, they banned slam dunk for a while, and that's
Oh yeah, I heard about that one. Yeah.
Because he's too dominant, they had to raise the mound.
That's funny.
Mhm.
But Bob Gibson, he would hit you with the pitch and laugh about it.
Oh
Believe
yeah.
it. Imagine that these days. No.
Yeah, he's my favorite. Him and Greg Maddux are my 2 favorite pitchers.
Oh, and they're 2 total opposites.
Yeah.
Maddox is a professor. I think, okay, we're just about out of time, but I do want to throw one thing out that I think is hilarious. You being a former baseball player, you'll probably think this is like, wow. Mike Fiers on Oakland is the guy who, quote unquote, ratted out the Astros. He used to play for the Astros during that era. He is on the A's. They're playing the Astros in the next round at Dodger Stadium. I think that's crazy. Yeah.
Dang.
It's weird how that stuff works out. Oakland has to let Fiers pitch one of those games. You just have to. You know, it's too good not to let him pitch against them. So I don't care if he beats the Asterisks, just someone needs to beat them.
If the A's win the first 2 games and when Fiers pitches game 3, he should just hit as many players until he gets kicked out and laugh off the field. Because
He should.
If he would have spoke up, nobody would have ever known about this.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like baseball fans in general should applaud Fiers because
I agree.
no one would have ever known about this if it wasn't for him.
Yep. And they wouldn't have got the A's.
They kept on doing it.
Yeah.
They would still be doing it to this day.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I agree. Yeah.
And you hit without cheating. You know, the average is everybody but Springer, who Springer is just a good player regardless.
You know what sucks is I liked the Asterisks for a while, and I don't respect them anymore. And you know why? It's not because of what they did. Yeah, that sucks that they did that. They went with what the coach said to do. They did it. They won. And Altuve was wearing a freaking wire. Let's be real. Altuve was wearing a wire that day that he was holding his jersey together after having his jersey ripped every time he hit a home run the whole season. Come on, we're not stupid. But I respected them until they had that quote-unquote press conference at the beginning of last year, I think it was. And they sounded so fake. It was so PR. It was ridiculous. You do something like that, man up, you know, give a real apology, not this PR bullshit, you know? Excuse my French, but
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
that's where I lost my respect. Go
The
ahead.
Yeah, I
people that
think-
it cost Kershaw the most because he was dominant in game 1.
Mhm.
But I was there. The only World Series game I ever been to, he dominated them.
Mhm.
He didn't have one pitch that swung a miss.
Yeah.
On a curveball, which that's his best pitch.
Yeah.
And they knew it was coming every time, and it was that Astros. Then in game 7, he came in for Darvish and dominated.
Mhm.
So the 2 games that they weren't cheating, he dominated. The one game he wasn't, he got demolished.
Yeah.
But I don't care how good of a pitcher you are, if they know what's coming,
Mhm.
these guys could hit it, especially breaking balls. And you know that when you know, because you can lay it off, most of the time you're not going to swing at it. If
Yeah.
You know. And they did it, and so they just sat on the fastball and they killed him. And if it wasn't for that, Kershaw's whole legacy is different.
Yep.
The Dodgers win the championship, he's probably the MVP because he would have had 2 dominant wins.
Mhm.
And you think of him different. And Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts almost lost his job because of it.
Yeah, I remember.
Years later, and you know the whole Dodgers legacy is way different.
To piggyback off that.
Did y'all talk about old boy losing his job with the Clippers? Did y'all talk about that already?
We haven't.
You can go we'll go like 10 more minutes. We can talk about that.
It ain't gonna take that long, but
Let me say one more thing before we do, because we could transfer over to LA because I'm gonna talk about LA. How funny, I don't want this to happen because I don't want the Astros to move on. How funny would it be after going through the whole freaking cheater scandal and coming to apologize and making it through the season with all the BS, that the Astros face the Dodgers in the World Series and the Dodgers just smoke the Astros in the World Series? How
that'd be
crazy would
great.
that be? How crazy would that
That'll be great.
That's coming from an Angel fan. How crazy?
That'll be great.
Like I don't want them to make it there. I want us to play the Yankees and have that. That'd be amazing. But it's going to be I think it's going to be Tampa Bay and us.
Tampa's crazy. Like,
Tampa Bay's pitching is amazing.
yeah.
And they're going to be interesting because they have the best pitching. You know, Rays versus the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting. Whoever wins that, we're going to play. You know, the A's or Astros, no one's going to beat the Rays or Yankees.
Yeah.
I got to get going. I'll see y'all tomorrow and be ready to watch us ball out.
What time you gonna be there?
We play at 8, so I'll be there by like 7:15.
Crack of
The
dawn.
first game is at 8 a.m.
8 and 10 is our.
Like, I'll be
We play 8, 10, and 12 for sure.
Dude, you're closer than all of us.
Yeah, Farron, are you in Fontana?
He's closer than all
You
of
have
us.
to drive like 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
It's like 20 minutes away.
Okay.
We have to drive at least an hour and a half to get there.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're gonna be driving for a while. It's gonna take us.
Like, I'm gonna be driving for like 2 hours almost.
Not
All right,
insane. All right, let's go.
There's
Right.
no.
All right, later.
We'll, since Braun brought it up, we will talk about it a little bit because I know we talked about it off air. But okay, obviously, if you haven't been living under a rock, Coach Doc Rivers, like a day or two after getting fired by the Clippers, is now the new coach of the Sixers. Farron, you brought it up, so how do you feel about that?
For me, I don't think it's the coach's fault. Matter of fact, I thought they would cut him some slack because of the whole bubble season. You know, I didn't think it would be like, okay, you're done because of what happened. But again, for me, being a coach, or what I would think being a coach at that level, like, yeah, I'm not the one shooting the baskets. I'm not the one out there playing defense. Yeah, I'm the one that's looking at the floor and kind of maneuvering the pieces. But at the end of the day, how do you really blame the coach for that? Unless the flip side of it is the players don't like you no more, so they're just going to freaking act a fool and get you X'd out. So at that level, man, it's hard for me to say it's always the coach's fault because he's not the one taking the shots. He's not the one out there playing deep. Like you got to look at the players that's on the floor to take some of that responsibility as well. So I don't agree with it. I thought they would give him like one more shot because of the subpar kind of season that they had and just take the L for the L. Because if they would have won, what if they would have given an asterisk? So it's like, oh, yeah, I won the championship. So now you got to live down like San Antonio, like the asterisk championship. So I don't know. I just don't always agree that it's the coach's fault. Even with NFL, how they do the NFL coaches, I just don't.
They fire NFL coaches like nothing.
Yeah, I just don't agree that it's always the coach's fault. But I have had people tell me, well, you have to understand that the coach is the one that brings the team together, and if there's something going on with the team, they can make the coach look bad.
Yeah, or GMs. The Angels fired their GM like the day after the season ended. Oh my God, he did a lot for us. I'm not gonna get into.
My thing is, you got to talk to the cats on the floor, man. What was going on with you on the floor?
Yeah,
that's my view. Is like,
George, you're a baller. What do you feel?
Well, I see what you're saying, Farron. Like I get it. But I think some of it is Doc's fault because look at his tracking record. He had a 3-1 lead over the Detroit Pistons. Remember that? Like he coached the Orlando Magic. Like I see what you're saying, but like he at the same time he didn't really make an adjustments on like certain plays that he's trying to do. But like for example, I was telling like one of my homies the other night saying like, why can't they do that pick and roll with Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell every single time? Because they can't stop that pick and roll, and that's how Clippers were winning like most of these games. So like for some reason they stopped that. They stopped that in the Denver Nuggets series. So I think like from that point the Denver Nuggets exposed them, and then that's number one. Then number two. Like yes, it is some of the players' fault. Like look at playoff P. It should have been layoff P, to be honest, because like he did not shoot very well. Only finished with 10 points, which is unacceptable. And then what's crazy about it is two things that was crazy about it. Like his shot hit the backboard. That's so unrealistic to Paul George. Like that tells me that okay, he's really having a bad game. And then the fact that you guys gave up so many first-round draft picks to get him, you expect them to like have like a big monster game during these closeout series, and clearly he didn't, and which makes me say like Clippers, like they're a good team. Yes, they have the number one team, the number one bench scoring team, but I don't think they're ready to get out that next level because they can't even go past second round, which is sad.
I'm a 3-point shooter, and you live by the 3, you die by the 3. So even when I playing basketball in my age and doing stuff, like when my shot was off, you have to change your game. You have to have another backup. You either go down to step in and shoot a 17-footer or a 12, or you go down to the box and you shoot some sky hooks or something like that. But I think their shot selection shot them out of the game. Their choices of shot selection, because their outside shot was broken. Like you said it, you don't hitting the backboard, bro.
Yeah,
like you need to come in, get the 2 points versus trying to get the 3, and you missing the 3 and you get nothing. At least if you get the 2, you get a foul or you get something. But I just think that if that was Doc's structure of keep shooting the 3 to get back in the game, then it cost him his position.
It really did cost him his job because he should have made like certain adjustments for them to get over that top to get, actually beat the Nuggets, because they did
one game.
They had 3 freaking chances. 3 chances. I
would have controlled the pace. Then we're gonna slow the game all the way down. Let them do their run. But when we have possession of the ball, we're gonna slow the game down, get good shots, and if we go basket for basket, then we're just gonna go basket for basket. But they didn't control the tempo either.
I think my opinion on the Clippers this year, I think the difference between the Clippers and the Lakers, I think was just the chemistry between the players.
Yeah, chemistry.
It was the chemistry.
Well, they said that at the end there was still, they're still a new team together, so chemistry. But come on, man, you only got to win one game, bro. You only got to win one game.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you didn't get any chemistry or not, but like you guys are like a top team. Like,
even if that game was 75-65, you gotta keep that game. You gotta win that one game, bro. It ain't gotta be 100 to 100.
Not only with that, but with a coach of his caliber, he should have been able to get that one game, like you guys said, because he should be able to put that team together and be like, no, we gotta get this.
But, one game, bro. No way.
Exactly.
We could have coached the win out of one of those. Come on, we could have. One of us could have coached the win.
I was happy, but at the same time, I was like really disappointed because I really wanted to see like a Laker-Clipper showdown, which everybody was expecting to see. But the fact that the Clippers did not know how to close, and then having Kawhi Leonard only scoring 16 points and not scoring any at all in the fourth quarter, like. No.
That's what I'm saying. There was something going on.
It's crazy. There has to be something going on.
Yeah,
there has to be some type of chemistry issue because Clippers were never this bad during the season.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's something else behind the scenes. Again, it's entertainment. So
it is what it is.
Yeah. Something.
Oh, and then let me add one more thing. Patrick Beverley, Paul George, and Marcus Morris need to shut the hell up, because remember that game where Damian Lillard played against the Clippers. Damian Lillard missed 2 crucial free throws, and then Patrick Beverley kept on laughing at him and everything, which is crazy because Damian Lillard took both those guys out, and then don't be saying that to a caliber player like Damian Lillard. Number one, number two, do not say 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Because when you say that, you're building a lot of pressure on yourself to win it all. And I think that's what happened. Patrick Beverley got so full of himself saying hey, you guys better watch out for us. We're going to win it all. We're going to win the championship. He was talking so much smack to other NBA players. And that's what happened. That's what kind of
One game. You could have got one game, bro.
They got real cocky with it. And I think that's what rip the Clippers apart in a sense of their psyche.
Cocky will kick you in the butt, and pretty much That's all I can say about that. We're just about out of time, guys.
All right.
So with that said, I got one more thing we'll talk about, and then we're about done. Who do you replace Doc with? I think we talked about this on Tuesday, you and me. But Farron, who do you put in the hot seat in LA?
Chauncey Billups, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like to do that new coach approach.
Billups.
What would you do, George?
Yeah, I agree with Farron, Chauncey Billups, but then like I also think like I want to say Alvin Gentry, but I think Chauncey Billups is a way better X's and O's type of player because like Chauncey Billups did play the point guard throughout his career, so he knows exactly what he's doing.
And he played for the Clippers a little bit. He played for
I forgot. He did play for the Clippers a little bit.
Yeah.
So I know exactly. And then he was a one-time champion, like, which I don't want to like get into.
We're out of time. We're out of time right now.
Oh yeah, we're out of time. But yeah, I think Chauncey Billups will be a great candidate.
I can live with that. I can live with that. No more time.
No, that was a horrible. That was a sad year.
Yeah.
But
Who you think?
Agree. I don't know. I like the approach you're taking, but like he said, there's all kinds of people out there right now. Like,
yeah,
I would, like he said, Gentry's a good one. Mark Jackson's out there.
But Mark Jackson had his chances.
He had his run. I understand that, but I'm just saying the names that are floating. You never know. I like the approach you're taking that a lot of NBA teams are taking now with first-time coaches. Who knows? We'll see what the hell happens.
I mean, I think Mark Jackson not bad because like Mark Jackson, he's like the type of old school coach that could get you motivated. Like look what he did with the Golden State Warriors when they're on the come up. He made them a good team. And I told Ricky this this past week, like it was like, okay, Steve Kerr in 2016 should not have won the Coach of the Year award because number one, he missed the first 24 games due to a back surgery, and Luke Walton coached the first 24 games.
Yeah.
So like with that, like if you miss a quarter century of those games, like throughout that 82 game season, you shouldn't be. And I tell everyone this kills me. You shouldn't be considered a candidate of Coach of the Year. That's what I'm saying. That's what I told everybody.
Maybe they looked at him recovering from his own life
he
injury.
Came out of nowhere.
And then
he beat the injury.
And then the type of team that the Warriors have, they could coach themselves, so they don't really need like a quality coach for them to like win because everybody knows they always been that favorite team to win it all. For the past 5 or 6 years. So I mean, like if anything, like they shouldn't be considered. No coaches in that Warriors organization shouldn't be considered being Coach of the Year, and that's what I told everybody, and everybody does not get that. Like if anything, that year I think Coach of the Year should have been to Terry Stotts because like Blazers were decent team, but Terry Stotts.
Yeah, the Blazers.
Because like
their whole team was like under 25.
Exactly, and then like no one expected them to like have that type of season that year.
Yeah.
So I didn't get it, and when I saw like the Warriors when the Cavs beat the Warriors, I was happy. I was laughing my butt off. I was talking so much smack to all these Warriors fans. They hated me for that, but you know what? I don't give a damn because I know the hell what I'm talking about. So Warriors fans, I'm still hating on y'all.
There it is. All love here. All love except for George in the corner.
No love.
Yeah, and then I had a Hennessy after that too. So like, I was celebrating that one as well.
You still drunk off that Hennessy too, huh?
There it is.
Oh yeah, I think I have like a small hangover that I need to take care of.
Wow. Good times.
So I had to throw that out there, guys.
It's all good, bro. It's all in love. Even when you hate the other teams, it's all good. It's so crazy not having any sports today. Like going from every sport playing last week, like nothing today, and then tomorrow it all starts back up again. So we are out of time for reels this time. Want to thank George. Want to thank Farron. Want to thank G and Coach who were here earlier. We're still praying for Doc. She's recovering as well. Hope Val had a good tournament. Hope he's doing all right. Hopefully we'll grab something with him tomorrow at the tournament he's at now. We also want to remind you guys about the Pillow Drive. You still got time at Teach One, Reach One, at T1R1 on Instagram. Then they'll take you to the website. You can still donate. We're delivering those pillows next week. I'm super excited for that. Again, if you're going to go to the tournament tomorrow, once I get that information, I'll post that. George, I know Farron doesn't want to get up at 7 in the morning. George is gonna probably post that before me because he's got the info already. We'll get that out to you as well. Hopefully, we get a guest next week. That's the plan. If we don't talk to Val tomorrow, maybe we can grab him for next week, and we'll see what's going on with that. All right, Orcamaniacs, we're 1 week closer to 2021, 1 week closer to getting on the court, 1 week closer to seeing our Oxnard Orcas. Let's go Lakers. Let's go Orcas. Peace out. Wear a mask. Stay safe.
Peace.